What is up, my viewers? Spang here, bringing you another World Tanks gameplay commentary. This time it is a replay sent in from, I don't believe I've received any replays sent in from this guy before. His name is Sayo, and I'm pretty sure I'm saying that wrong. If I recall correctly, the language is in German, and I assume that means he's on the EU servers, and possibly in Germany. I'm just saying, it would make sense, and hence, therefore, I think I'm pronouncing his name wrong. It's capital C, capital Y, capital O, and I'm just going to call him Sayo. The teams here are pretty even. I can't really say any team has a particular advantage. Same number of tier 7, same number of scouts, same artillery, so on and so forth, but it is going to be an encounter battle, and he's using AP shells as a, not an ISU, an SU-152, a huge difference between the two. And just using standard AP shells against these vehicles. Now, he does have 130 something penetration. Yes, 135 penetration, which will get through a tier 5 vehicle and eliminate it in one hit, most likely. For those of you that don't know, the Derp gun, otherwise known as the the 152, I believe it is. Right? Let me get, there we go, come on, there we go, yes. 152 millimeter. The Derp gun, how it's definitely more well known, is a 750 average damage gun, which doesn't usually have that great of penetration. You're not going to really get through anything high tier with it. I mean, 135 pen, what are you going to get through? Besides lower tier vehicles like that KV-1. A very bad day for him. But, excuse me. As you see, he does have some premium shells loaded, which have 228 penetration. If you're fighting tier 7 and 8 and even some tier 9 vehicles, you'll be able to get through them, especially on their side. So, quite the potent weapon if you use it properly. The enemy team getting on the capture point, kind of causing a bit of concern, but not too much. I wouldn't be concerned at this point. I mean, well, maybe you should be, because I just looked at the map and I am saying, well, there's not that much over there. His team is really leaving the 1-2 line, the capture point, fairly open. Artillery does have a say in that. You know, if his team can just spot the capture point, then artillery can rain some shells on it. The T-150, he has another AP shell loaded, I believe, or at least we'll find out very shortly. But he has a very slim chance of hitting this T-150, but it looks like he might take it. The enemy team making a significant push on the capture point. It did look as if they were going to be making a strong forest push. The magical forest, where all the fairies go to play. Yes, that is what I have frequently heard it referred to as, is the magical forest, because you get shot by invisible fairies, apparently. But the enemy team's managing not to get on that capture point for whatever reason. Apparently, I say apparently way too much, but they seem to feel that they do not have enough cover or what have you. I'm not sure quite why they aren't pushing it a little more, considering how little of Sayo's team is looking at the capture. They're really held up in the city and over here on just this side watching the forest. So, and there we go. The teams once again becoming slightly uneven, but nothing too significant having been lost yet. Okay, there's some significant losses. Now, Sayo's team is down by a tier 7 tank. The enemy team not having lost too many important things. And really, at this point, it's not looking too good for Sayo's team. The Stug will be dead here in just a minute. He doesn't want to accidentally shoot his Hellcat, but he's going to take the shot. Yes, yes. I think he's just waiting for either his Hellcat to die, which it just did, or waiting for him to kill the Stug 3 if the Stug actually managed to give him a better shot. This T-43 about to die, very close. Hopefully, Sayo looking to move in and hopefully get that kill, but we shall see exactly how that turns out. The Churchill 7 getting absolutely annihilated before he could really do anything of significant value. The Churchill 7 very good in its own tier, not so much against other tiers. Not even an aim, just a very nice classic derp against that T-43. Honestly, most of the time when I use the derp gun, I am using HE shells because I don't value its AP penetration all that much. 135 isn't usually going to get you through that much armor, especially if you're fighting tier 7, 8, and 9 vehicles, which it seemed that was quite often the case in my SU-152. Not only that, The 122mm that you do get on the SU-152 is quite potent. 390 damage at a rate of fire of over 8 rounds a minute. It is rapid fire, high enough damage, 175. Well, that's not its damage, that is its penetration. So high enough penetration, good damage of 390, and in the time you fire 1 shell with that, with the Derp, you can fire 2 shells on that thing. So the average damage actually comes out to be a little better. I do prefer the 122 on my SU-152. Now, it's probably going to be a different story when I start playing my ISU-152, which I can buy, but let's not get distracted here. This Chaffee looking to provide some little bit of trouble for Sayo, who has 2 kills at this point. Nothing too major, eliminating that KV-1 on that T-43, which was good, but Sayo looking to possibly get killed here, though I know that doesn't happen. And let's face it, I've seen the post-game screenshots. I know exactly how this match ends, though I have not watched it yet. So we'll see exactly how the end result comes about. And no, I am not spoiling things, so you will just have to wait and see. Well, this is a bit unexpected. And honestly, this is a strategy I don't like to see from a tank destroyer. Pushing the front line. That is the job of a medium tank, a scout, even a heavy tank, but not a tank destroyer. Tank destroyers are meant to hide in the bushes and be a supporting role. Yes, they can play the aggressive role when necessary, but it is definitely far from ideal. So I have to say, good on you, Sayo, for picking up your team's slack, but at the same time, you're playing a role that you really shouldn't have to be forced to play. This Tiger, wow, moving quite a ways over. He wasn't there originally. He was on the center hill and getting shot up, bouncing a shot from that Tiger, which I don't believe. He does have the upgraded turret, so I can only assume he has the 88 long, the 203 penetration, 240 average damage gun. Really, I'm just kind of concerned for Sayo's health here. 93 hit points left, a 1 shot from pretty much anything. Artillery could come in and basically ruin his day at this point. Hopefully not, but like I said, I know exactly how this match ends, so I don't know why I am acting so clueless. But the KV-1S coming up on his position. I do not know what type of shell he has loaded due to errors in the replay compatibility, because this is an EU server replay and it's not always completely compatible with the North American server replays. And not only that, I've noticed 8.2 replays have been a bit glitchy in general. It's just weird. But the SU-100 moving along here, apparently I can only guess that he has seen Sayo, and Sayo taking that long overhead shot. That is one of the downsides of the 152, is it has very poor accuracy. Apparently neither this KV-1S or this SU-100 seeing him. This is exactly perfect. Pretty much what Sayo needed to happen is stay hidden behind this bush and the enemy team be completely clueless of his location. The SU-100 seeming to have figured it out. We'll see exactly how this pans out. Yes, the SU-100 is taking aim. We can only hope Sayo bounces or the SU-100 misses, or perhaps he doesn't take the shot. We got an artillery piece coming in right there. Not even able to do 93 damage to him. The SU-5 potentially out of shells. That's the only reason I can think he would make such an aggressive move. And not only that, he didn't fire a shot as he was coming down on him. So I can only guess the SU-5 is out of ammo. And the enemy team going dead even now. 11 for 11. He has 3 shots left. 3 kills. Wow, I am just mixing up everything. Am I not? I'm sorry, I'm tired. It's been a long day already. But Sayo doing well for himself. Eliminating that KV-1S, which did have the 122, that same gun I was talking about before. The 122 is a very common gun on many Soviet vehicles. You'll see it on the KV-1S, you'll see it on the SU-152, you'll see it on the SU-100. It's just one of those common guns across the Russian line. Now, there are different variants, which is why you can't always just transfer it from one vehicle to the other. But it's basically the same gun, same damage, same penetration, just different rates of fire, different aiming times, etc. So the things that matter, penetration and rate of fire, are the same. At least that's what mattered to me. So this T-29 causing some issues. The enemy team still very much in a position to win this. Sayo doing exactly what is required of him. Honestly, if I had to just look at tanks on each team right now, the tanks each team has, I would say the enemy team is going to win this, especially with that bounce. That is exactly what he did not need. But the T-29 getting a shot off on Sayo's tracks for no damage, saying, well, F me, basically. And the T-29 kind of making a stupid move. At least that's what I perceive to be a stupid move. Now it does show he has an AP shell loaded. The T-29 has a pretty good chance to bounce that off the front. KV-1S coming up on his side. Hopefully a shot for no damage. Thank you, armor. Apparently getting shot right in his gun mantle. That is precisely what absorbed the shot, as you can tell right there. Very, very fortunate for Sayo, who is now reloading his Derp. Like I said, it has quite the long reload, much longer than he would have if he had the 122 millimeter. And the T-29 not feeling very comfortable in his current position. We know that Tiger last spotted around Bravo 1, potentially pushing the cap. Nope, there he is. So coming up on Sayo's flank, and Sayo kind of in a bad position here, stuck between a rock and, well, a tank and a house. A rock and a hard place. So... not quite the same thing. The Tiger taking a shot and doing nothing but hitting the dead husk of his ally and trying to move in and get that shot right on Sayo. Hopefully he can survive long enough to get it. The T-29 eliminating the Jagdpanzer IV. It is down to Sayo and his artillery piece. The A-20 moving in as well. It is 3 versus 1. Well, artillery still a factor, but Derp to the Tiger. Hopefully this A-20 doesn't grow a set of brass balls or whatever you want to call it and charge in there at this particular moment. Sayo cannot afford to take on 2 opponents at once. He does not have the rate of fire. The A-20 moving in, hopefully not going to be able to penetrate him, or at least not do enough damage should he penetrate. Nope, there we go, a nice bounce. Exactly what Sayo needs. Derp on him as well, and hopefully the T-29 will not get a shot off in time. Hopefully, we'll see. The T-29 playing it. I don't know what exactly he was shooting at there. That shot, I can only assume that was from Sayo's artillery. Otherwise, that T-29 was shooting at nothing. Down to his last AP shell. And honestly, I would have loaded HE at this point. A guaranteed hit, guaranteed to kill him. So, the T-29 getting killed by artillery. Very good teamwork there at the end. Sayo proving that one man can indeed win it for our team. Now, granted, he didn't do it single-handedly. Very good team play with the artillery. But he just derped people left and right. Tons of damage. Managing to get 10 kills between him and the artillery. 2/3 of his team's overall kills. And right there at the end, very close match. Very good game. I love these games where it is just interesting for most of the way through. Honestly, there's a lot of times I'll get a game where I get like 5-6 kills, but I don't save it simply because it was boring. Nothing interesting happened, like 3 versus 1, and it wasn't really all that close. It was just an absolute massacre. So there's really no point in commentating on those types of games. Although, like I said, a lot of times, no matter what type of game you guys send in, I end up doing a commentary. Speaking of which, this is obviously the continuation in the long series of the flood of replays coming from me in an effort to get through all the 8.2 replays you guys have sent in, as well as through all my 8.2 replays. And you guys have not been making it easy, because in my recent entrance back on the scene, I suppose, in my surge, you guys have surged me with replays as well. Not that I'm complaining, but it also has made me realize, as my popularity on YouTube slowly increases, bit by bit, subscriber by subscriber, I'm going to need to develop a system to really judge the merit of replays. And I don't want to have to pre-screen every replay, because honestly, I like to see things as they happen for the first time and do a commentary. But, and also it'd just make it such a longer process. It'd make it so much harder to get as many videos out if I have to pre-screen every replay before I do it. And then I'll have to always respond back, well, sorry, this replay wasn't selected. And it just adds a lot more work. And I know I'm sounding lazy, but I have to figure out a system at some point as my popularity slowly increases, because I have dug myself into a hole and I need to figure out how to climb my way out of it. But enough of my complaining. If you like this video, click that like button. If you want to see more, subscribe. And as always, if you got a replay, send it to spanglereplays@gmail.com. Email is in the description. And as always, this is Spang, and I'm signing off.